Hello everyone, I'm Himanshi. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will be discussing the recent judgment delivered by the Honorable High Court of Delhi in the case of Humans of Bombay Stories Private Limited versus POI Social Media Private Limited and another on 11th of October 2023 by Honorable Miss Justice Pratibha M. Singh. Before we get into the details of the judgment, let us first understand the concept of copyrights. Copyright law is developed to assure authors, composers, artists, designers, producers, and other creative people who risk their capital in putting their works before the public the right to their original expression. This is done by giving to the author or his employer certain exclusive rights to enjoy the benefits of the created subject matter for a limited period of time. The copyright owner can exploit his work to the exclusion of others for a limited time. For instance, in India, it is 60 years. Apart from these exclusive rights, which are known as economic rights, the copyright law also provides moral rights to the author. These are right to paternity, that is, right to claim authorship of the work, and right of integrity, that is, right to prevent distortion, mutilation, or other alteration of his work. Copyright protection gives an exclusive right to do or authorize to do certain acts with respect to the following works: literary, dramatic, musical, artistic, cinematographic films, sound recording, and computer program. Let us refer section 13 of the Copyright Act 1957 for the same. Section 13, works in which copyright subsists. Subject to the provisions of this section and the other provisions of this Act, copyright shall subsist throughout India in the following classes of works. That is to say, A. Original literary, dramatic, musical and artistic works. B. Cinematograph films. And C. Sound recording. So, section 13A protects original work, whereas section 13B and C protect derivative works. Derivative works are based on existing subject matter. So, certain rights are provided to the person holding the copyright. For that, let us refer to section 14 of the Act and understand the same. Section 14. Meaning of copyright. For the purposes of this Act, copyright means the exclusive right subject to the provisions of this Act to do or authorize the doing of any of the following acts in respect of a work or any substantial part thereof. Namely, A. In the case of literary, dramatic, musical work not being a computer program, the following rights have been granted. First, to reproduce the work in any material form, including the storing of it in any medium by electronic means, to issue copies of the work to the public, to perform the work in public, to make any cinematograph film or sound recording, to make any translation of the work, to make any adaptation of the work, to do in relation to translation or adaptation of work any act specified from clauses 1 to 6. Now, similarly, rights have been given in the case of computer program. 1. To do any act specified in clause A, and additionally, to sell or give on commercial rental or offer for sale or for commercial rental any copy of the computer programmer. Similarly, in the case of artistic work, to reproduce the work in any material form, including storing of it in any medium by electronic or other means, depiction in 3D of a 2D work, or depiction in 2D of a 3D work. Similarly, in the case of cinematograph film, to make a copy of the film including a photograph of any image, storing of it in any medium by electronic or other means, to sell or give on commercial rental or offer for sale of such rental, to communicate the film to the public. And lastly, the rights in the case of a sound recording, to make any other sound recording embodying it, including storing of it in any medium by electronic or other means, to sell or give on commercial rental or offer for sale or such rental, to communicate the sound recording to the public. So, the copyrights conferred under Section 14 of the Act consist of a bundle of rights. The owner of a copyright is entitled to assign and license each of those rights separately or in bundles. The bundle of rights vary depending upon the nature of the work, like we studied right now in Section 14, that is literary, dramatic, musical recording or cinematograph films. So, I hope you understood the section. Let us now discuss the judgment in the case of Humans of Bombay Stories Private Limited versus POI Social Media Private Limited and another, delivered by the Honorable High Court of Delhi by Honorable Miss Justice Pratibha M. Singh on 11th of October 2023. The facts of the case are that the plaintiff operates its own storytelling platform called Humans of Bombay, wherein stories are uploaded as interviews, write-ups, posts, etc. The plaintiff claimed that for this purpose, it engages in substantial research and approaches various individuals who are interested in narrating and sharing their life stories. Then these stories are converted by the plaintiff into audiovisual works and uploaded on their website and various social media platforms. The plaintiff also claimed to engage in a special method for selecting these individuals whose stories are narrated. The plaintiff also claimed that before publishing, written consent is obtained from the individuals, ensuring an agreement between the individual and the plaintiff for a specified period, preventing others from telling the individual's story. Now here, the case of the plaintiff is that the defendant, that is POI Social Media Private Limited, allegedly used the plaintiff's literary works and creative expression. You can look at the images being shown. It is further averred that the content shared by the defendant on the social media handles was identical to the plaintiff's content. We can see in the images clearly that the contents are absolutely identical. So, thereafter, the plaintiff filed a suit seeking injunction restraining the infringement of copyright of its copyrighted content, which includes the plaintiff's content, literary works, materials, films, and creative expression, which is published on its website as well as the Instagram handle and YouTube channel against the defendant, POI Social Media Private Limited. So, thereafter, the defendants claimed that the presence of common images between the two websites and platforms is due to the fact that the individuals of the said stories themselves have provided these images to the defendants. Additionally, the defendants also alleged that the plaintiff has also engaged in copying, as the plaintiff has replicated certain images from the defendant's website. They also alleged that even the plaintiff imitated the original platform, that is Humans of New York, which started in November 2010. So, the Delhi High Court referred to the landmark judgments in the cases of Eastern Book Company versus D.B. Modak, wherein it was held that the Copyright Act is not concerned with the original idea but with the expression of thought. Copyright has nothing to do with originality or literary merit. Copyrighted material is that what is created by the author by his own skill, labor, and investment of capital. Maybe it is a derivative work which gives a flavor of creativity. The Delhi High Court also referred to the landmark judgment of R.G. Anand versus Measures Deluxe Films, wherein the Honorable Supreme Court held that position of law is that an idea, principle, theme, or subject matter or historical or legendary facts being common property cannot be the subject matter of copyright of a particular person. Now, coming to the present case, the court held that the settled legal position as per the law is that no copyright can be claimed in an idea. However, the expression of any idea cannot be imitated or copied, and if expression is copied, the same would constitute infringement of the copyright under Section 51 of the Copyright Act 1957. In the context of the present suit, the idea at the core is of a storytelling platform. The court held that there can be no monopoly over the running of such a platform. However, all such platforms that share stories about various individuals would be attaching their own creative ways to communicate and disseminate the said stories, which constitute the expression. Now, such expression is protectable under copyright law. Accordingly, the court directed that both the platforms, that is, Humans of Bombay and People of India, should refrain from using each other's copyrighted works. So I hope you've understood the judgment and the topic of copyrights and found the discussion to be fruitful. Thank you for watching. See you next time.